I changed how I studied so that I got straight A's and got accepted into every physical therapy school that I applied to with a lot less stress, energy, time, and money spent. So, what did I do? Let's get into it. What's up, everyone? I'm Janine. I'm a travel physical therapist, and I help future physical therapists get accepted into PT school. And let's get into it. So, let me talk about what I was doing that didn't work, and then I'm going to say how I changed it and what I did to actually help me get straight A's. So, the first thing that I did wrong was I was trying to memorize everything. I would spend hours going over my professor's PowerPoint presentations, copying it all down either onto a notebook or onto flashcards, and I thought that was the best way to do it. But in reality, when I was copying this over, I was just doing it passively where I wasn't actually remembering any of the word. I was just spending time doing that, and I'm like, oh, I'll study it when I actually try to memorize it. But I spent hours actually doing that, and it just did not work. I could have been spending those hours doing a lot of other things. And so then when it got down to it, now I've spent multiple hours just copying them over, and now I'm exhausted, and now I actually have to try to study, and I wasn't in the right mindset. And I was just trying to memorize concepts. And a lot of the times, for anatomy, or other classes, aside from math, but that's another story. You need to understand concepts and learn how they apply. The tests are asking questions that the answers are applied in a situation. And if I'm just memorizing them, I have no clue. I only know, whatever. And so it wasn't really working. And I was spending hours and hours and hours just wasting my time. And when I realized that, that's when it changed for me. That is when I changed the game, and I forgot about trying to copy things over, but I sat there and I tried to first understand the main concepts. So when I was doing this, I not only went to my PowerPoints from the professors, the notes, I looked up in the textbooks, whatever articles they gave me, or I would, watch YouTube videos, find out information online, make sure it's a credible source. But you can find a lot of other information. And for me, when people talk about what kind of learner are you, are you a visual learner? Are you an auditory learner? A kinesthetic learner? Reading, writing type of learner? And honestly, I was always so confused about that because I'm like, I don't think I'm any of them. I literally don't know. And so that's when I kind of realized I think I'm a mixture of all of those. So if you are confused about which type of learner you are, you're probably a combination of them. And I'm going to give you an example because there are people out there that are definitely sure that they are one of those. I have a friend in PT school. She would sit in the lecture, not even take notes. She would hear everything and she would remember every single thing that she ever heard. Obviously, not everything, but most of the things she would just remember from hearing. She was a true auditory learner. And so, that's, I think, more of the rare cases. I think most people are probably like me and you, where we're more combination of a couple of them. And so for that, it's that's why I would refer to textbooks. That's why I would refer to videos and multiple different sources, because it kind of helped it all come and click. And so once you're through that stage, don't feel you have to know everything and remember everything. But now create your outline with all of that information from all of those sources that you've gotten, and write everything out, details, examples, everything you can put. You want to make a true outline. But when you're doing this, make sure you're actively thinking about it and, not just passively copying and pasting stuff, And so after that point, now is the time that you want to teach this information. So pretend like someone's in your room. I used to teach the wall or teach a plant and just pretend like you're teaching it to an audience without looking at your outline, and say this information and make sure you're saying, oh, how this relates to another, topic, and examples and metaphors and whatever. And then obviously check what you're saying, check that with your outline. And if you make a mistake, go back and spend a little bit more time and maybe go back to the first part where you're reviewing all the different concepts, because you don't want to keep reiterating false information. And then after that, that's when you can kind of fill in the gaps and maybe start studying with other people, and usually like 2 different types of people. So the type of person that might be a little bit ahead of you, and they can kind of help you fill in any gaps that maybe you didn't even know you didn't know, right? Or vice versa, helping someone else, and then that gets you more practice to teach the information. And so by doing this, I was spending a lot less time actually studying way more effectively, and I was doing way better on tests, because this is just like, it's just the best way to study in my opinion. And then when I had those tests that were actually like asking questions for applied information, I knew what to do, and I knew how topics related to each other and whatever. And so this changed the game for me. And not only did it improve my grades, but I was spending a lot less time studying. I had more time to take on other things to boost my resume, to get accepted into school. And that's it. And I have a lot more to say about how to improve your GPA. There's so much more that I don't think people talk about. And I want to talk about it because I really wish that someone was there for me when I was figuring this all out. And so that's why I created my online course. It's a GPA boost course. It's going to help you learn all these things, these little tricks and, tips that are going to boost your GPA, help you have a lot less stress, a lot more free time to do other things, and just make your life a lot easier. So make sure you check it out. If you want, I'll put the link in the description below. Don't miss this opportunity. Come on. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. If you really want to take school seriously and you want to take your grades seriously and kind of like beat the system and learn how to actually get straight A's with a lot less time and energy spent, then let's get it. But yeah, I hope you like this video. Make sure you stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, please, and I am here to help with all of your questions, so feel free to comment any questions that you have and I will make sure I get back to you. So see you in the next one.